website.
All right, we're going to get the power hour started. Before we get into the topic of the day, wanted to let Mike, our new rep from Movement Mortgage, talk to you a little bit about what his role is and what you can expect from Movement Mortgage moving forward. So thanks for joining us, Mike.
What we're doing. It's right here fine. Or
yeah.
Up?
No, that's fine.
So I just accepted the job as branch manager for Movement Mortgage Worcester. I know some people in this room, maybe some people online, had issues with the last regime moving out and us getting up to speed and brought in. I'd love to discuss any of that with any of you. I went through and I tried to find every single person that we had in process at that point in time and contact those agents. If I missed you, just let me know. If it means it wasn't in my system when licensing got transferred, I'd love to talk about that. But right now, I basically want to focus on our service level commitment to Exit Realty and all of our real estate partners for that matter. If you look at the front of this, Movement Mortgage's value prop is 671. I'm sure you heard the last people come up here and tell these three numbers. This is the organization chart of the 671 process. We submit it to underwriting. We have a full package. We're going to get an answer from that underwriter in 6 hours. When we get that decision from the underwriter, the processor's goal is to clear all borrower conditions in 7 days. Does that mean I'm going to have an appraisal in 7 days? Maybe, but it's not going to be something that's relying on the borrower. Letters of explanation, verifications of employment, deposit sourcing, the stuff that drives you guys and it drives me crazy will be taken care of upfront and completed. And then once we do have the clear to close, we're going to have 1 day in closing, and we'll have a doc package out to the attorney. So if you look on the back, I've kind of broken this down more in real time than what it means for you. The main goal on every single one, so I'm a producing branch manager. I've done financing I still do financing for large national builders, Taylor Morrison, Beazer Homes, Richmond American. I'm young, but I've done this for 10 years. It was my first job out of college. I've done it from coast to coast, from California to Maine. So I know what it takes to get loans done. And most importantly, any loan officer or branch manager or sales manager that you talk to that doesn't know how to create a process that's scalable and replicable, it's not going to work. They're going to get to a saturation point and they're going to get bogged down. And it doesn't matter what's on this list, it's not going to get done. This list is scalable. This is replicable. This is why I'm here. Before this, I was a sales manager for Movement Mortgage for Kim Lanigan, who's the market leader. I would go into each office and take the problem deals, figure out what's going on with them, fix their process, coach them up on how to use it. Right now, before I came in, that person didn't exist. I don't know about the previous people. Greg Gentili, I met 2 times. He was nice to me both times. I couldn't tell you if he's a good dude or a bad dude. Sebastian, I hear great things about people that work with him until he left, and things got lost there. That's all behind it. This is the process, and this is what I'm going to adhere to, and this is what I'm going to promise to meet you guys. So real quick, when you send a referral over, I'm going to contact the borrower within 3 hours. The only reason I say 3 hours is if I'm in a meeting like this, by the time I get back to the office and I can have a meaningful conversation with them, it could be 3 hours, but we're going to reach out to your borrowers at the utmost, quickest point possible. We're going to have an application completed within 6 hours. Sometimes they're at work, sometimes they're not at home. Sometimes they don't want to talk over the phone, they want to do it online. We'll make it as easy as possible for them. Our online app is phenomenal. It's super quick to complete. The first person that ever did it was 82 years old, and they rated it an A, and they're constantly looking to improve it. So it's not a age gap thing. It works great. We're going to set up each borrower with online access. As long as both borrowers have separate emails, sometimes you run into a couple that shares an email. Maybe we'll set one up for them. But I always want them to have online access. They can track their loan. They can see what's going on. They can DocuSign. We can send that stuff back and forth. If they don't want to do it that way and they want to come in, that's fine. But we'll at least commit to have that available to every single person. I'm also going to assign the borrower within our CRM system to the referring agent. So if you're going to do business with us, I highly suggest that you sign up for our online, it's called Total Expert. It's basically a contact management system. And you can track and see where your loan is at each stage. You can tell when I've ordered appraisal. You can tell when we have a conditional loan approval. There's no BS. I can't say, oh, yeah, that's done. You'll say, well, why is it triggered in the system? It flows right over from our loan operating system. If it doesn't say it in your side of the site, it means we haven't done it. I'm going to tell you that right now. So transparency is key. Pre-qualification, this is what you're used to, verbal discussion of income, credit, assets, and collateral. I list them in that order because income is of almost importance in what we can control. Income, we can't really control someone's income. I can't have them make more money. Credit is kind of what it is, but we can do some things, rapid rescoring, coaching, 30 days. We can get scores where we need them to be or boost them if we have to. Assets, we can always work on gift letters, etc. Future savings. Collateral is kind of on you guys, you know, purchase contracts, managing the purchase and sale, making sure that gets signed so we can get appraisals back in a timely manner. You know, that's basically it. That's all there really is to mortgage lending, is we need to get these 4 things covered, and the rest of this does it step by step. We're going to have the pre-qual to you within 3 hours of the completed application. We're going to have the need list to the borrower within 3 hours of the application. They go hand in hand. Whether it's me or my loan officer assistant, you're going to take the app, run right through the checklist. Yes, it meets this. No, it doesn't meet that. This is what we need. So we're going to send you the pre-qual, send them the needs list at the same exact time. The biggest thing is we're going to set the expectation with the borrowers and let them know what their role and responsibility is. One of the biggest problems I found when I went in here and looked at the pipeline, the loan officers that were left behind were letting the borrowers run the process. It doesn't work that way. You need to let them know you need something. You need to give them a deadline. People are procrastinators by nature. You know, you have to tell them that this is going to go as fast as you make it go. If I ask you for something, it takes you 7 days to get it back to me. That's 7 days that are lost. You know, we'll be gentle with them, but we do want to set that expectation. Once we have everything, I'll get a submission to underwriting within 1 hour of receipt of all documents. Underwriters then, they're graded to be, have our decision within 6 hours. Right now, turn time is 4.5. So if you get something to me by noon, it might roll over to the next day. If you get it to me before noon, by noon we'll get it in. 5 o'clock is kind of the cutoff where they stop finishing files. So, you know, noon we'll get it that day. After that, it'll probably be the next morning. What we're going to have is an actual loan commitment, and I attach that to everybody's process sheet. You'll notice here there's no property address on this loan commitment. This one was one that came out Monday. It's TBD Westboro, Mass. 01581. This person has not found a property yet. It's a conventional loan. We're always going to do it for the max qualifying rate. It could potentially be lower than 4 1/4, but I don't want rates to go up and it impact what they can max qualify for with this letter out. We can get into the details of this, but if you look at what's required of this borrower, once they find a property, title search, assets. We've got to make sure that there's enough money to close in there. And we're going to dump some of that up front. If they're getting a gift, we're going to have to document the gift. We don't know how much they're going to exactly need until they get the property. Credit and income. This one, all they need is an employment verification, just to make sure they're still working when they get the house. It could be, these are good for up to 90 days usually, so, you know, we want to make sure that they still have their job. We're going to get most recent pay stubs. Those have to be dated within 30 days, so you're always going to see that on there. But if they find it quickly, we move forward, we'll go ahead and just, you know, use those ones. But if we have to refresh them, it's always going to be on here. This person has a contingent sale, so we need the final CD from their other home. Other, copy of all pages of the fully executed purchase contract. So we all know we need that. Homeowner's insurance, evidence of social security. This person has an SSA mismatch, so all we have to do is get the form SSA 33288 completed. Preliminary title report, satisfactory flood cert. Done. That deal is closed. Would you all not rather have someone with this when you're submitting your offers to agents, knowing that this is all that's left to do on the deal? Or do you want to hand in a pre-qual that was done verbally from someone's best guess? The dirty secret that a lot of my loan officers in this branch that I inherited don't realize is they have no lending authority. If you call the loan officer that's in the building right now, he cannot tell you 100% if he can do a loan. He can give you his best guess, but the underwriter needs to make that decision. So our goal is to get all of these in as fast as possible, find out every single pothole in the process, and you guys will have a great experience. Your clients will have a great experience. It's really, really that simple. And you can see if we just lay out these steps, it's scalable, it's replicable. All I need to do is if I get capacity, I hire a new loan officer assistant. I can hire someone from Santander that knows, the general compliance and backwards, and I can teach them. Very, very rudimentary stuff. Once you get the offer accepted, this is kind of where communication is with us. We'll disclose the loan within 24 hours of having an accepted offer. Where I make a suggestion here is if you've done the TBD pre-qual, get your inspections done. Make sure it's a home that they're going to buy, because this approval is good for any home, not just the one that they get an accepted offer on. Once we disclose it, that's over with. We have to turn it down if the roof is bad and it's not going to pass inspection and they don't want it. So wait until you know that the buyers are committed to that house, and then we'll go ahead and disclose it and move forward. I'll always schedule time with the borrower to go over the loan estimate once we do disclose. I do it 3 times. I personally go over every loan estimate, I go over every closing disclosure, and I go over every initial closing disclosure and final one. There is no reason to have your borrower, who's been at the closing table and the borrower is shocked by the number. Probably everybody in the room had at least one point in time they've been like, whoa, I'm not expecting that. $1,000 less is all I was planning. No excuse for that. We disclose it up front. We disclose it 7 to 10 days before closing, and we have an initial one. So your borrowers are always going to be informed on all steps of that. I order the appraisal upon request of the buyer's agent, not the seller's agent. I get a lot of calls from seller's agents telling me to order the appraisal. I don't do that. Call your buyer's agent. When the buyer's agent has told me that inspections are done, everything that they've agreed to negotiate for repairs is taken care of, that's when I'll order the appraisal. Let's make sure that purchase and sales are signed as close to that date as possible. I don't mind working off an accepted offer for the sake of time, but just know if we get that appraisal back and we don't have executed purchase and sale, that has to go back to the appraiser. Now we're waiting on the appraiser to make another update, and it's back out of my hands again. We can rush it, we can pester them, but it's hit or miss with appraisers. If you want more information on appraisals, I'd be happy to get you our service level commitment. With our ANC, they have a dedicated amount of time that they're supposed to get appraisals scheduled, ordered, back to us, which is nice for you, because if 48 hours goes by and the selling agent hasn't been contacted for access, pester me, you know what I mean? Talk to us, because that's not right. It's a beautiful checklist of how you guys should get involved in the process and where. Where are the above? Clear remaining buyer conditions, earnest money cash to close, gift sourcing. Actually, I think I skipped a few things on the pre-approval. If we do get a not ready, what we'll go ahead and do is we're going to go through it to talk with the underwriter. Not ready is basically a suspense anywhere else where they don't like it. We're going to discuss with them. Within 3 hours, I'll bring it to you and let you know what the challenges are. We can talk to the borrower and see if it makes sense. And they're going to clear the borrower conditions within 7 days. On this particular commitment letter, the borrower conditions are basically the Social Security Administration form. We don't know exactly how much assets they have. Obviously, they haven't cleared earnest money, so we can't get those things. But that's basically all that's left on these. The reason we did the pre-approval on this particular person, he left the W-2 job, went to an independent contractor job. 7 months ago, went back to the W-2 job, is working more hours than he was the first time. His wife just left her job to become a dog walker, and she gets paid per dog, depending on the day the amount can change. I have no idea what to do for an income calculation in that situation. So this was a referral on Wednesday of last week. We got everything we needed in verification of employment by Friday. I have my loan commitment on Monday. I know the income's rock solid. Once we get your appraisals will have 24 hours to review, and then they're going to be signed off on, or we're going to have the revision request out. Clear remaining buyer conditions, earnest money deposits, cash to close, sourcing, gift letters, etc., things that come up. Once all the buyer conditions are received, appraisal is signed off on, and title is clear, we'll submit it for clear to close. First, we'll order any tax transcripts, waivers, or power of attorneys, whatever we're doing for that situation, and then we'll get it clear to close. Goes to closing. Once we have the clear to close, we have 1 day for quality control and doc prep. That's not really taking that long right now. Number 2 is the big thing. On West Coast, where I worked for 8 years, is a title state, and we're required to have documents to the title company 3 days before closing. It's brilliant. There is no last minute rushes there. I mean, sometimes circumstances will dictate that you have to kind of be reasonable about. There might be something that comes up. We can't, am I going to do this on every single deal? This is what I'm going to try to do. And if it's not happening, you're going to hear from me and we'll talk about why, and you'll know exactly where it is in the process. But I'm always going to try to hit that 3-day date. I still do large build-outs in Arizona and Southern California, so I have to. Why not do it here? It doesn't make any sense to drop a package on an attorney 24 hours beforehand. Day of closing, I'll update you with my schedule, my best contact method, and I'll always answer my phone whenever possible, good, bad, or indifferent. I know there's 2 agents. Tim Horneldred, he had a nightmare deal that, hey, sir. I think he can attest to the fact that I answered every text. I responded to every call in a reasonable time frame. Did that deal go perfectly? No, but it got closed, and Tim knew what was going on with it. If we have to, we can order pre-wires. I can order a wire the day before. If we have the clear to close, doc package doesn't need to be out. I can get a wire there to satisfy your seller. This shouldn't be coming up, but we could table fund. We'll allow for after-hour signing, escrow holdbacks within reason, provide direct closing contact, so you'll have the closer that's actually working on your file's direct contact information as well as mine. We'll do anything within reason to ensure a smooth, timely closing. Tim's client wanted to get in on Friday. The asset, the Worcester County was registry, I guess, was closed on Friday, or that particular Friday. We funded it, we signed it, allowed them to record it on Monday. No big deal. It's perfectly legal. Why not allow it? My direct contact info is at the bottom. Cell phone, my boss's cell phone is right there. We answer our phones. We're always around. Communication, there's no excuse for lack of communication. If I'm upfront about what my goals are and communicating with you here, you're going to have a good experience. And if there is an issue, you're going to know about it early, and you're going to be well informed. And we're here to fix problems. We're not here to create them. And I can't necessarily say that for predecessors or anybody else that I know of in the business. This process is only as good as the loan officer attached to it, and that's probably true for Guaranteed Rate or Fairway or Citizens Bank. I'm here to get quality people in. I'm handling all exit realty stuff up front by myself, me and my assistants. Like I said, it's scalable, it's replicable. I have time for it. Don't worry, I have a wife. I have a 2.5-year-old. From 6 to 8, you're probably not getting a hold of me because I'm doing family time. But 8 to midnight, call me. If I can't answer, I won't. Got any questions on it? If you had a bad experience, if you want to talk about lead generation, we're doing conversion purchases. We have a team that's working them behind the scenes to qualify them. We're here to help Exit Realty. I want to have a good relationship with you guys. I want the company to have a good relationship with you. All the tools are here to do a lot of business and do it soundly and have great customer service experiences. And don't get to continue to do Taylor Morrison or Beazer Homes Overflow if they're counting you on customer service lists. I'll tell you that much. So, I know how to keep your clients happy, and that's why they brought me into this market. I know a lot of the technical challenges you guys have in Worcester County, loan limits. I do a lot of stuff in Maricopa County, Arizona, where Scottsdale average home price is $400,000, but the loan limit for FHA is $274,000. Have challenges like that. I got creative ways to squeeze extra financing out of people. I've done it for years, and I'm happy to sit down, coffee, lunch. My office is always open. It's right off of Shrewsbury Street by the Italian Table. If you want to meet a client there, we have a great conference room. If you want to host a first-time homebuyer seminar or any kind of workshop, it's available to you guys at any time. Just let me know, and I'll check the schedule. And we want to partner with you. We want to help you guys out. We're not here to be the lender that says, give me. What else can I do for you? We have all of the online tools. We have co-branded marketing, if you want to look at some of that. I have a pretty big I'm sorry budget, so if you want something, let me know now. And well, let's wrap it and move the mortgage, and then we'll talk about it. Compliance. Everything runs through our attorneys. They're very, very good. They're very, very realistic. Not a lot of mortgage lenders are taking the time and the legal to set up agreements like we have with Exit. It's nice that they will do that. I have the lead counsel's phone number directly, so if there's ever something that I'm getting pushback that I don't think should be a no, I can call him directly. I've never worked for a company that's been as transparent and open, and just come to us. We want to work with you. We want to do it to however you get your business. So I'll be around afterwards. You can reach out to me if you have any follow-up questions.
Any questions before we move on? Just speak for just a second. I think some people may just kind of be confusing the fact that just because you go through underwriting up front, unlike most companies who are coming back to things by bid foreclosure, it doesn't guarantee that you're not going to have something that comes up within the last week of the closing, right?
If I've done my job, we shouldn't have any borrower stuff come back 5 days before closing, okay? Are there situations where someone loses a job or changes a job?
Or buy something that should.
Buy something they shouldn't. I have undisclosed debt monitoring, so it notifies me immediately if there's over, I think, a 25% increase on a credit card balance, or if they've had an inquiry, so we can immediately talk to them, which has saved 2 deals. I've been at Movement since March, and I had 2 people literally go out and buy cars, and I was able to catch it and have them send it back to the dealership just because we have the undisclosed debt monitoring. I was like, take that thing back immediately, and they were able to make it work and push off the paperwork till after closing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm never going to guarantee that it's going to go through. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. I can't control if someone loses a job or spends all their down payment money and can't find more. We're going to verify it. You're going to know that it's in the account beforehand, or I'm going to tell you they're short. That's my number one pet peeve when I hire someone, is they don't want to talk money with the borrower, and it just creates a ton of headaches down the road. For all of you who've had to chase down a gift for $3,000 at the last minute at some point because someone didn't go over the cash to close, and I just don't have the tolerance for that. Whether it's me, whether again it's Fairway or Bank of America or Wells Fargo, the fees aren't that different. Our loans are commoditized within a very, very low margin. I'm going to tell you what my lender fees are. I'm going to tell your clients the things that can change, like attorney fees. I'm going to tell them if I'm going to go over prepaids from day one. That's the number one thing people forget to really discuss. If you're buying a house with a $500 a month tax bill versus one maybe in Shrewsbury where it's $350, that's a lot of difference when you're talking 6 months impound. If they have to pay the seller back for something that's paid ahead plus their impound. But that's a significant difference. So let's talk about it. It's not that hard. Not every client is going to be receptive to this. I get my 20% down, $200,000 W-2 wage earners that tell me they're going to get the contract and who has the cheapest, shortest lock. That's their right. That's fine. I'll work with them too, and I will. If they have an LE that beats mine, I'll take it. I'll send it to my boss, and we'll match it. It's all with just communication and working with them. And you're right, there will be some random things that come up. The number one thing I'm seeing issues with in my process is agents and me mismanaging P&S. Like the seller will take forever to sign a P&S, and all of a sudden I have 6 days from P&S to close of escrow date. Like that's something we need to be talking. If your buyer has signed a P&S and it's been 3 days and we don't have it back, like what's going on here? And you'd be shocked. Maybe it's not your business, but in Worcester, I live in Hudson, so I do a lot of Metro West. I do a lot of Acton North, and you have a lot of older estates. You have a lot of people that just aren't quick to. On my own purchase in Hudson, I signed the P&S, and it was 12 days before the seller got a signed P&S back to us. That was on my own house, and I was moving cross country. I never saw the thing. I bought it sight unseen, and I was pulling my hair out trying to get my signed P&S. That's kind of the number one thing that we can't really control. But if we're talking, I have one in Lowell right now, bank-owned property. That's going to be its own challenge. But again, my agent and my buyer knows that it's supposed to close October 13th. I still don't have a signed P&S from the seller, and it has a repair. Just every couple of days, I'm like, just want to touch base with you, let you know, like we need this very soon, or it's going to have to get pushed. So this is the key. If you just, I have a checklist version of this some people like. So as you call me when you're about to place an offer, I can tell you, yep, we're up to here. You know, this is what's done. If you want to, the tracker online is great for
We still get the email, right, that shows
yeah, so
things are
yep.
done.
We load you into the system. It'll tell you when it's done. That's actually a little bit slower than the online system because it can sometimes take 24 hours to batch out those emails. But yeah, you're going to get those. Nothing's changed there. All in all, we're just trying to take out the variables one by one to get to done. And I did personally 4.2 million on this last month, and I helped 3 people on board, 2 people in new offices from Taunton to Franklin to Braintree. Who took this job. So it's, like I said, it's not the kind of stuff that loan officers want you to think it is. It's all about being organized, having a game plan, and executing it, and knowing that your company can execute behind you, which I know this company can. Any problems you've had have not been a mortgage operational issue. It has been with your loan officer. Any single deal I have had an issue with was something I did incorrectly. They don't make the same mistake twice. I rarely do. You know, I'm not perfect. At some point, I'll probably screw up one of your deals if you give me enough of them. But it's going to be an honest mistake, and this is here to keep those to a minimum. So I'm a human just like you. I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. I'm just here to tell you this is how I run mine. And if you want to work with someone that is organized, you know, communicates with you, and has one of the best back-end processing supports, we're hiring new operations people every single day. RMS just laid off a bunch. Wells Fargo just stopped doing renovation loans. We just hired a whole new team to handle the Northeast, sending in more than they had to deal with right away. So, you know, we're growing, 400% growth last year. We're 7th largest purchase lender. It's staggering stuff. You can go on CNBC and get all the stats. Just be the right people to go out and execute it. And I'm hoping that that's me for you guys and for the market, and I want good things for this office. So I'm always available. Let me know if there's anything that we can do for you.
All right, one other quick question.
Yep.
Where are the rates going in the next few months?
That crystal ball.
Yeah.
No, I know there's always scuttle.
I'm saying holidays are usually a good time. I do a lot of refinances in the holidays. We had all of the hurricanes that hit, and so pricing, there was a big flight to safety, you know. The last one wasn't as bad, so bonds have been ticking up 6 to 8 basis points just about every day. I have MBS Highway, and I have access for all of you guys if you want it. We track, I just sit on the corner of my desktop, it tells me what mortgage-backed securities are doing any given day. Tells me what they've done since pricing was released, which is more important really than what they've done in the last, you know, since the morning. And it tells me when to lock or float. If I've got someone that's getting close to closing and bonds are moving in the wrong direction by 26 basis points, you reach out to them and say, hey, the system's telling me this isn't looking good, you know. A lot of it's going to really have to do with what the Fed does with winding down their balance sheet. That's much bigger than any Fed hike, interest rate hikes. When they stop buying the mortgage-backed securities and they start, you know, rolling off that balance sheet, that's going to put a lot of supply in the marketplace. Supply goes up, price goes down.
What do you predict if the Dodd-Frank grip starts to loosen up?
I think you're probably going to have more tools to get people financed. I don't know if it's going to be a huge rate impact. I think the rate impact is going to be a lot to do, again, with the who's buying the bonds and where they're going. If people aren't buying them, the price goes down. That's plain and simple. So that's more of what they're. And if you increase the risk of those, the appetite for them decreases as well. So, you know, that's all pointing to rates going up. If you undo a lot of the Dodd-Frank stuff, I mean, we can maybe get higher loan to value. I have a 100% financing program for 80% area median income people. If someone making 64 grand or under in Worcester County, I can finance 100% of the house for them. Actually, I finance 97% of the house. My lawyers they just recorded it. I can finance 97% of the house, and I can
For the
give,
general public.
and I can give 3% for down payment. So, they'll have their more stuff like that might hit the market. A conventional like bank statement loan or no doc or anything like that. No, we do have a bank statement loan, but it's through Advantial. It's a third party. It's a broker relationship that we have. They also will do one day out of foreclosure, things like that at moderate interest rates, 7%-ish, 6.5% to 7%. So that borrower knows that they're not getting 3.75. So
We want to make sure that there's no more no docs.
yeah, no.
It makes me nervous when I see.
I'm very
something
happy.
that.
I'm very happy with the climate like it is, and I'm going to be the one more loan officer that would almost like rates to be in those high fours because that's good for a refinance business. The ebb and flow of rates, we need them to go up to 5.25 and then come back to 4.75. That helps my refi business. Purchase-wise, Massachusetts is such a hot market. If you go here out west, you're probably going to see some struggles with selling homes if rates go up, affordability goes down. But if you go inside 495, it's not going to get. Maybe you'll have 20 people at the open house, not 40 in Framingham. So I think there's a ton of opportunity, and the mortgages are performing very, very well, almost at all-time highs. That's another thing you can look up on our partner site, MBS Highway. They have all that data for you. It actually has a 90-day pre-qual kit. So if you do a lot of business in an area where people are shopping 30 homes, they can't get their right. They're doing 300 to 400 grand in a Metro West area. It'll automatically send them, almost encouragement to continue the shopping. Rent versus buy analysis. This is your area. This is what the market's doing. It keeps you top of mind, and it gets out to them every 10 days for 3 months. And it just kind of keeps them in the buying mind frame. I usually fund anywhere from 25 to 45 million, depending on how busy the builders are. And I probably got 35 million in pre-quals sitting there from people that can't find homes. So staying top of mind with those people is just as important as dealing with the ones you've got. And once you get a contract on these, let's check up every couple days and then go get the next one. That's what this is for. I don't want you guys buried in the details of mortgage lending. Tim knows more about IRS payment plans than he ever should have to know, and that's not something that should have even come right. Yeah. That's not something that ever should come up. That should have been done up front. That should have been done. And, for whatever reason it wasn't, but can't dwell on it. All we can do is, this is how, like I said, this is how I run my business. If you want to do it differently, I'm open to suggestions. If you want to, if you find something isn't working, this isn't set in stone. I can change it. You can, whatever. Like I said, here to work.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. All right, let's get on to our other topic. All right, how many of you have been in the marketing suite, pulled around with it at all? Good, okay. All right, so when you log in to the Exit Resource Center, there's a new link at the top called the Exit Expert Marketing Suite. Basically, how many of you have used e-listings in the past? Okay. Are you still using e-listings? Okay. So
I used it under a different name, where it was automatic.
okay.
I can't remember the name.
Well, it was automatic? Oh, it's basically the same thing. It's just gave it a different name for ERA. So in the past, Exit Realty Corporate had a partnership with eListings, which is the program that some of you guys have used to build, basically get a text code. You get 10 text codes to use in your properties. You get the virtual tours, the podcasts, and the whole marketing suite that was, basically an opportunity to offer your sellers more than your average agent. Because the reality is in this market, even today, and a lot of houses do sell quickly. However, some don't, or some just aren't that you're same type of house. But what it's made for, in my opinion, is a lot of lazy agents that just think, well, it's a hot market. I'm going to list it on MLS. I'll throw a sign on the lawn. It'll probably sell. That's my opinion. It's a recipe for disaster when the market starts to change a little bit, or if it's not the exact type of house that people are looking for. In my opinion, you never want to leave out a certain population of potential buyers out there when you're trying to market someone's house. I think the stats are, I haven't seen recent stats, but I hear between 70 and 80% of all homes are going to sell through MLS, meaning when it hits MLS, a buyer agent has a buyer somewhere out there looking for a specific listing just like that, and that listing goes to that buyer, probably a listing alert, or the agent lets the buyer know that, hey, a new listing just hit the market. They go out there, show the property, they bring the offer, and you're in a co-broke situation, and that's how you sold your house. And that happens 70 to 80% of the time. The problem is, what about that other 20%? And how are you marketing to that 20%? And this is something you want to explain to sellers, like when you go meet with them, is, we don't, Exit Realty, we don't ignore the other possibility that the buyer is just coming into the market and not working with an agent yet, or they might see it on Facebook, or they might see it on a Google somewhere, or Zillow, or Trulia, or Yahoo. And for that reason, how are we marketing to that group so that we don't lose anybody on your home? And this is especially true with houses that are, I would say, in this area, probably under 400,000. If you look through MLS, the amount of virtual tours and additional marketing products you're going to see for listings under 400,000 is pretty slim. But by going into a seller and saying, we're going to market your house so your house stands out in a crowd, is how you're going to get the most interest in your property and sell for the highest price. If that property is in a price range and there's 5 others on the market that are very similar to that, and you're offering, to put their house up on the market with professional pictures, which, we have several sources that our agents are working with for professional pictures. I think it's a must, if you're selling a house anywhere, honestly, 200,000 or up, or even sometimes even less than that, is get the professional photos for a few reasons. Well, particularly the one that's most important is you have one chance to put off the best first impression when you list that house. And you want the pictures to be as good as possible. And your job is to make them come to the house, make buyers say, wow, these were great pictures. Even if the house doesn't show as well as the pictures, that's okay. You got them to the house. You can't sell them the house until they go see it. So you want to do professional photos. You don't want to leave anything to risk. And honestly, if the house isn't selling right away, and they know any other realtors, and they're asking other realtors, hey, my house isn't selling. You got any thoughts? Well, did your agent do any professional photos? Well, no, they didn't. Well, maybe that's the reason. So you don't want to give the seller an opportunity to find reasons to blame you for their house not selling. So I think it's worth spending the $150 to $200 to do the professional photos. That's one way. The second way is, what are you doing to market the property beyond just listing an MLS and throwing up a sign? And you want to ask the seller, has anybody gone over with you any other marketing plans that they're planning on doing for your property other than listing an MLS and putting a sign on the lawn? And so I'd be surprised if you hear a seller most of the time say, they didn't really talk about anything else. Because the reality is they're probably not.
Some people talk about, we're going to put you in a catalog of homes.
Right.
That's a coffee table thing. It doesn't sell houses.
Right. By the time it comes out,
If it's a good house, it's gone.
your house is stale. Right. So Exit had, for years had been promoting Exit e-listings as the solution to handle that marketing beyond just listing it in MLS and throwing a sign on lawn. And that is still available. If you go to the home screen and go to Exit Tools, you still have e-listings there. It's $15.95 a month. In the last year, Exit's decided, why don't we step it up as a company and start to build the same kind of products that e-listings is offering to our agents and offer to the Exit agents across the country and Canada for free. So that's what they've been developing. I'll tell you a few of the differences between the two, the free versus the $15.95 a month. And there's not actually that many now. The reasons, the differences with e-listings versus what's available in the marketing suite. So if you still want e-listings, you can go to Exitize Me, and you can go to sign up for e-listings. And when you do, my e-listings, and when you go there and you sign up, you can watch the webinar and learn how to use it. And you just click here to log in, sign on, and then you'll see right in the middle of the screen, you'll see a webinar for how to do it. The differences between the free and the $15.95 a month. With the e-listings program, you're going to get dedicated sign writers. So you can have your own personalized signs that don't have any text codes on them. And then you buy the writers from e-listings right through the program for about, I think they're $7.95 a piece. You can buy the 10 of them. I'll just actually log in and show you guys where you can do that. Because I wanted you guys to know and be able to decide which do I want to use. Who? They give you three free?
Three. You take those three out of it.
Oh, okay.
That's the way it was, my bottom.
Okay. Once you log in and if you go to, where is it?
Does it have a code that goes with the property and you have to
Yeah,
assign
so
it?
you just assign the card and then once you fill it out.
Home zone, that's what it used to be called.
Yeah.
Now that's
Another one.
brand.
Have to make sure you reassign it, otherwise
Right,
show a different property.
right.
And it was down for a while too.
Yeah, so, I don't know why it's not coming up. Oop, there it goes. So you get your text codes and you basically have them on a rider and you assign them to an individual property so you can take them back after you sell. So it looks like they give you 3 as an option. You can buy the 10 if you think you're going to have up to 10 listings. And once you go to the next box, it'll show you what the riders are going to look like. And you buy, and so that's what the sign rider is going to look like. Property information text to this message. It's going to cost you, I don't know if they're still free or not, but if you have to pay for them, they're $7 a piece. And then the shipping is $50. So $85, you get your riders, and they go on any sign. So if you don't buy the Exit specialized signs with the text codes on them, then you can put these on any sign. What those do is they become a lead capture, both on the sign lead capture. Somebody drives by and texts that code. They'll get information on the property, and you'll get their phone number. If you put it on Facebook and say, sometimes I think we as real estate agents, we put too much information out there. Like if you've got a hot new listing or a coming soon listing, my suggestion, don't put the address. You want people you want to put the price in the town, but you want people to reply to get information. You can do the same thing with these text codes. You could put a Facebook ad out there and say, coming soon, Auburn, 399.9, text this number to this number for property information. So there's different ways you can use those text riders to try to capture information on people. The thing with those codes is those codes are always your codes, so you can move them from property to property to property. With the Exit 3 system, those text codes will change on there's an individual one that'll change on every property, or you can use the GeoTracked one, which is text Exit to 85377. So if you go to oakleysigns.com or any of the sign companies that Exit uses now, they're selling the GeoTracked signs that have the text code right on them to say text Exit to 85377 for more information. The difference with that is, and I'll show you guys where you can can check the PIN. So basically, when someone drives by the property, if they text the exit to 85377, it should, and 99% of the time they say bring up that property. You want to check to make sure your PIN's set right because it's comparing Google to the system, and sometimes it's off a little bit. If they remember that or take a picture of the sign, they go home and text it, it's going to bring up a list of local properties for them, or they can search it on the exit website to find that listing. So it's, I guess, in that perspective, not as perfect as exit e-listings, because if exit e-listings using that and someone takes a picture of the sign and goes home and texts that code, they're getting exactly that property because that code was specific to that property. Does that make sense? So it's free versus paid. It's got its
That's one of the differences.
that's one of the major differences. So
Is there any other?
I would say that the virtual tour is maybe a little bit more advanced in e-listings. You can modify it, play with it, but it takes time because you've got to load all the information. So in e-listings, you have to load the pictures, you have to load the information, you have to do the voiceover. It does have a voiceover versus the non-voiceover with the free program. But I would say it depends. If you have the time and you want to build a really good virtual tour product, I think e-listings is definitely still better. But if you're just you want to cover all your bases, you're not taking high-end listings, and you just want this stuff to happen automatically, that's the other nice thing about the free program is it all happens automatically.
It pulls all the information.
It pulls all the information automatically. And so e-listings, you basically have to go in
Right.
to e-listings,
Pictures,
and
add
you have to,
description and all that.
Everything.
yeah.
How does the free version make a tour automatic? Are
It's
those-
pulling from MLS. So within, you'll get an email now within usually about 24 hours of your listing going live, sometimes sooner, saying your listing has been uploaded.
Or is that the one that says all these things are available to you
Yes.
now?
Yeah, in the
I don't know that was.
Yes. Yeah, so it's telling you it's pulled it into the marketing suite, and it's
And how do I get that tour back onto MLS?
that tour.
Probably,
You have to go into MLS. I think you have to load that automatically. I'll find that out. The automatic tour.
So they automatically make a virtual tour that lives on the exit website.
Right.
But it doesn't hit the MLS website.
No.
Unless we put it there.
Right. I'll find out.
I call that and that account fix for it.
Right.
In charge of technology, I want that to happen like this.
That's a good question, and we can check that out.
Because if it's pulling from MLS, it's already got they're talking
The
already.
connection, correct.
It's listening, they ought to be.
And they do have unbranded tours with this. So, all right, so we're back in the free version. The paid version, the best way to learn how to use the program is really sign up and then take the webinar. It's every Friday. It's in there. And again, until you have a listing that you want to do it with, you don't really sign up for it. Right. All right, so now we're back in the free version, the marketing suite. So when you come in the marketing suite, you're going to see these tabs: Market My Listing, My Leads, Mobile Business Card, My Account, etc. Let's quickly look at Market My Listings. If you go to Market My Listings, you'll see a list of your properties. I see everybody's properties in here.
Gotta get these here, gotta get stronger power. The listings I have, the good ones are already sold, and the ones that I still have, I don't want to start the time.
Well, that's what's nice about this too. So maybe if you're,
I recorded that. I'm
depending on
going
what kind of listings you're taking, maybe you sometimes use both. There is a nice part of it just being free and happening automatically, which is nice.
Something I think I'm gonna sign in. The training for. It's over introduces. My clients are interested in that, but I just you'd rather put easier cat.
Showing the condo.
This is what's called, right?
No, the agent on the other end and her fire.
Did you
I was the listener.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Somebody else was listening. So now, because I have a showing for big
When is it?
That condo, yeah. Just takes up another listing today at my village.
Should be over 100. I know the one that I know now.
Yeah, it was like 1,000.
All right, I'm gonna do that in a second for vote. There's another nice piece to this program, which I highly recommend all of you use, especially when you're trying to get a listing appointment prior to your listing presentation.
Kind of like our old, it's not a rocket science video.
Yeah, and we'll just watch it. So it's at exitready.com/DMS. And it's just ready for you to play. You can send it an email. Of course, this will probably work here.
Everybody sign off your computers. You're slowing that thing down.
Locked out.
Tools in the car.
Good death. So you should play next time. Go ahead, your computer.
Nice short video explains how it works. It gives them the opportunity to text exit sign 85377 to get an example of the tour program. So it's a very good short video. I recommend you share it with anybody who you're trying to get a listing with. Say, hey, for sale by owner. It's like, hey, if you're thinking about, listing with an agent at some point, check out this video. This is how we market homes differently than others. It looks pretty impressive to any potential seller, and they think it probably costs a lot, takes you a lot of time, etc., and it's just available to you for free. So I would recommend every once in a while you post it on Facebook. Hey, if anybody's thinking about selling, check out how we sell homes differently. ExitRealty.com/DMS. ExitRealty.com/DMS. And it's just a nice little video to share with anybody who wants. So let's go back in and look at a listing. All right, so my property at 12 Lancelot, you just find your property, click on promote on the right-hand side, and it's going to open up another window with the different things you can do on your listing. Here it comes up.
Is that Banco?
No. Why you didn't buy it?
No, I remember that house, Frozen Pipes. Kim had the listing
Yes.
Years ago, and Kerry Cross tried to get a deal to happen. They wouldn't.
Okay, first thing I would recommend you do is you want to check the PIN and make sure that the PIN is in the right location. Because again, they're doing it based on Google Maps, and you want to zoom in and make sure it's on the lot. You know what I mean? And if you have to, you can move it, on the map, and that's going to trigger the texting 85377 to exit to pull up that listing if they're within, I think they say, a half a mile radius of that house. If it's beyond that, what the exit system is trying to do is pull the closest 3 or 4 listings, and hopefully that's one of them. It's, again, not as exacting as giving them an exact
designated code.
specific to that property.
It's really good geographically. I just put in, exit to the number.
Yep.
I got 9 Ladies Slipper, which is just up in Auburn.
Yep.
11 Hulbert is Webster Square. 28 Blaine Ave is Webster Square, and 12 Electric is Holy Cross Hill. So
Okay.
it gave me the closest properties to right here.
That's good.
So, good. And these are all exit listings.
Yeah, exactly.
So it
Yeah.
is directly before us.
Exactly. Yeah. The next option is text. So you have a text code specific for that property. So if you wanted to use that text code and on
If you're in a networking meeting
Right.
with 30 people, you want to tell people about a new listing, you say text E38092.
So the text will be specific to the house?
you have a text specific to that house, but you can't transfer it to other listings in the future. So you can't buy a rider with that.
Right, no, that's fine. Because
Yeah.
right now, even with e-listings, that's what I do is, I have the sign all made up, and I just go get little stickers made and just put it on there, so it's
Oh, okay.
nice and neat,
Okay.
specific to
You
that
could do
house.
that. You could do that. Yeah.
So it's really kind of the same thing then.
It's kind of the same thing if you want to use the specific text code for that property
Right,
and then get some letters to change it on the next one, you can do that.
yeah.
So do they still go to that ExitRealty.com?
No, if they text it, and I'll show you on the flyer, if they text, let's look at the flyer. So if we look at one of the flyers, you have two options. You have portrait or landscape. Let's just open it up and look at it. Like your flyer will have the code on it. If you put this on your sign or on Facebook or anything else, let's just save it. It'll get them that specific property, and you'll absolutely get the lead on it. So it's a little bit better than just using exits 85377, because let's say They looked at the sign, they drove by, and it said exit, text exit to 85377, and they went 20 miles home before they texted it. It's probably not going to bring up that listing, and then there's a chance that they're going to click on someone else's listing,
Yep.
and end up possibly somewhere else. So the specific code is a little bit better, and if you're going to do Facebook ads or anything, absolutely you should use the specific code. And if you want to do it like Tony's doing with changing the letters on your riders or your sign every time, you could use a specific one for that property and get the same results that e-listings would give you.
Daisy Print, he only charges like a couple bucks to go in there.
To change those numbers.
He just prints me out a little green thing and I just.
Yeah, so this is what a flyer looks like. For full information, text E3809 to 85377. So that number 85377 will never change.
That's what I was kind of asking, okay.
Yeah, that part of it will never change.
So if you're in front of the house and you text exit to that number, it gives you that house if you're sitting in front of it.
Right.
If you're sitting anywhere, it'll give you the closest properties to it.
Right.
But if you add that special number, no matter where you are, you're gonna get that property. So that's
Right.
pretty cool.
Right. So these flyers are nice looking. Honestly, from my open house last weekend, I just printed out these and the MLS listing sheets. I stapled the MLS listing sheet behind this prettier front sheet, and that's what I handed out at the open house. But then if they go home and they text that number for, to view the photos online, you're getting that lead, which is a good, it's a good way to get, leads. So that's the flyer, nice looking flyer. Again, you don't have to load anything, it's automatically happening. Virtual tour. So you have the unbranded tours, which we'll try to find out why these can't automatically be landing on MLS. And then you have the branded tool. And you can change some information down here. I haven't.
You have a link on a branded tour, does that mean you pay for e-listings?
Nope. Branded, unbranded means they're giving you two options. Branded for like your Facebook stuff, and unbranded if you want to put it on MLS. We'll find out why it can't automatically go on MLS. Any tour that goes on MLS can't be branded. They don't want somebody who signed up with another agent to see your branding, basically. So this is the branded tour.
Exit. So put that on all our marketing except. Did you
And
put
it's
this
not- it's
music
not-
or is this automatic?
There's two options. Not,
This nice music or under, easy.
That's because it's got your, automatically will put your, busy numbers, 85377 business card, so someone wants. Business card, as long as you have your links in your bio for Facebook or Twitter, they can click on you that way. So, kind of like it for that. Not a talking tour like you listing, but
Say, that's
But it's pretty nice looking, I think.
13X by 13.
Right.
It will read exactly what you put in there. And if you put Worcester or Leicester, the computer will screw that up huge.
They can click on more details, they can see the map. They can share it with somebody. Facebook. Facebook. So you can share it, or you can share it around Facebook, and then, on there and see it, which is nice. All right, so that's a virtual tour. HTML, you could use the HTML code for like I don't know if it'll work in a Craigslist, because Craigslist stopped like the
Oh, they got a box up there, it just says copy code.
copy code.
Home Zone used to be able to put that in there, and when you put the code into, Home Zone, I'm not Home Zone, but Craigslist, you would get a much better, bigger picture tour.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but I would say try it on Craigslist and see if you can post it. It probably will come up, most of it will come up, it's just they don't allow clickable links anymore, so Craigslist may not give you the link, but you can have, it'll have your phone number and everything else in there. It's a nice looking, landing page that's automatically built for you, so the code is basically gonna, where it can be, code can be accepted, that's what it'll look like, something like that.
Got a Q code, that's computer speak.
And then you also got a website URL you can share too, which, click on that. So just like e-listings, you have the virtual tour link and you have a web site link for that specific property. Yeah, sell it, come on. How come it hasn't sold?
You ready to check
on
on
a house? It was nice when it was bank owned, and somebody lives there, I'm sure it's much nicer. It's great, it's great, and easy access. Yeah.
Right, but check.
I don't wanna buy it. I'm going south, I'm going closer to Rhode Island, I might go to Millbury next.
Oil.
So the nice part about this too is this website brings up your profile on Zillow, so that people look at your reviews on Zillow. They want to contact you, they can contact you here about the property. There. The website's pretty nice.
Your property.
And then you can see if you have any leads on anything you've done. Feature gallery, I think that's just like a. I haven't looked at that one yet. Oh, this is kind of a nice one too. It's kind of a different version of the website. Instead of having the music going in the background, they can just scroll through pictures.
Right.
But it's kind of a nice way for someone to scroll through the listing again, and they can contact you for more information, which is nice. That one's a nice version too. And then obviously you see if you have any leads on it. So that's the individual listings. And then as you get leads, you will, if you go back to this, you'll see any leads you get. You'll get notified on your email that you have a new lead. And then you can go in your lead screen here and see. And I've just been testing a little bit, and I've gotten a few text leads on the last 2 days on one of my listings, just a Facebook ad that I put the text code into. So I wouldn't overlook that as a good opportunity to get leads. Again, the name of the business in getting leads is, if you give it to them for free, they're never going to contact you. The name of the game is to try to only give them enough information to make them want more. And the website does its job by capturing them. They can't look at the whole listing until they give you their information. Same thing goes with this. If you give them the price in the town and you put a Facebook ad out there and try, I say try different things and see what works out well for you. I think this could work very well for just using the text codes that are automatically generated for free on each listing. So, and the nice part about the text leads is it's a cell phone number. If someone signs up on the website, they don't necessarily have to give you a cell phone number. They could sign in with Facebook. They could sign in with,
Right.
You know what I mean? So, trying different things will give you different information, and then you can follow up on it. So if I click on this one lead, let's just look at this one lead.
Okay, property's supposed to automatically get open to that, or
What's that?
if you want to look at a few properties, you see everybody's, but when I just pulled my house, there's nothing in
There's nothing in yours?
I would have two listings.
In where?
Yeah, but that's leads created from the thing, not.
No, I'm saying
the property themselves to do the promote part that he's talking about. I don't get to see my properties in there.
What, where are your properties? In Mass?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they active? I'll check that afterwards. It might be a link that I have to click on. All right. So if you click on a lead, you'll see, it'll say this in the email you get as well, but you'll see what property they requested information from, what time they texted. They texted at 7 p.m. and that's the phone number. So you can then follow up with them to try to, convert that lead.
Chris, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Mortgage guy. When you get those cell phones, are your agents calling them or are they texting them back?
Both.
We have a lead gen system similar to this, which does capture specifically a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
When loan officers text the first name of the lead ? They get a much higher response rate than any other kind of contact. Because I don't know how I would possibly lay off a text message and say, hey, Mike, ? Or is this Mike? Like, I always answer that. And they track that over, I think it was 7 months. And it was well over double-digit higher response.
So instead of saying, hey, you were looking at a property, just say,
Yeah, just say, hey, John. And then they'll go, yeah. Now you know it's a legit lead. Now you have them engaged. And we saw a massive response to that.
how do you know what their name is?
The one that we have, they actually put their first name in.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't give you the name.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the name.
Gotcha.
It's just they text in about property.
Google the numbers.
Yeah, you could Google the number. I think, right. Yeah. I would say, probably, I don't know, try to call them right away. If they don't answer, then send them a text. Any other questions on that? Or is the difference between the free and the paid version? You can click here if you want to order. There's signs. It'll take you over to a couple of different websites. Make sure you have your mobile business card set up. I'll mention a couple things about the mobile business card. I think everybody should have their mobile business card downloaded to their phone. And you can send it, right through here to your own cell phone, and then you download it on your own cell phone. When you first set it up, you basically have to select your custom text code. You only get one. I could change mine off of Tracy Barber right now. So you have to decide, do I want it to be my name or do I want it to be some catch line? Like, I know one of the new agents has Erica Sell My House as her domain, so she could use Erica Sell My House as a text code, as long as someone else hasn't used it. So you need to decide what you want to use for your mobile business card. This is what it's actually going to look like on your home screen. I wouldn't expect a lot of people to randomly be texting Tracy Barber to 85377 because they all want my mobile business card. But what it's incredibly handy for is, even if I have business cards in the back of this thing, if I start talking to someone out about real estate, I don't want to just give them my business card and hope they go home and take it out of their pocket and text me or download you want to get their phone number. So say, oh, I don't have any business cards with me. Let me text you my mobile business card so you have my number.
Right.
And you open it up and you just hit the share button. So there's a share button. You open up your own on your phone and send card and get that person's phone number right then and there. So now you've got a captured phone number. So, a big mistake agents always make is waiting for someone to call them. Like, oh, I talked to this guy about real estate. I'm just going to, he's got my card, hopefully he'll call me today. Chances of that happen are probably 5 to 10%. Probably triple or quadruple the chance of closing that piece of business if you captured their phone number. Worst case scenario, get their business card, but if you can't, and they don't have one, get their phone number, and this is the easiest way to do it. It's much easier to say, let me send you my card than saying, give me your phone number so I can hound you about buying or selling real estate. So it's a great way to use that.
So when you sign into exit, and then
yep.
So how do I get to
The business card?
Yeah.
Go to marketing suite. And then there's an option.
Oh, okay, it's not one down, gotcha. All right, that's right. That's right.
You can change your alert settings too. I haven't really fooled around with much in here. It's gonna have your cell phone number. If you want to text, you can set it up for text. I would set it up for text in case you get a lead. You want to try to follow up to them right away. You want to know if you're not at your on your computer. You want to know that that lead came in. My account. Your account is basically all your details. So if you don't have your social media links in here, if you ever need to update your address or your beneficiary information and stuff, you can do that through here. Make sure you have a bio built in here. Because a lot of times if someone Googles your name and knows you're with Exit Realty, that's 99% of the time it's going to be the first one to come up. So you want to make sure that that's there. The other reason being, just while we're in here quickly, if you ever go to exitrealty.com and you're looking for a referral agent, the easiest way to do that, to find a referral agent within Exit, is to go into the find an agent office, find an agent/office, and you find somebody through here. So if you don't have a bio in there, the chances of someone choosing you as the agent to refer a piece of business to from another part of the country is slim to none. Because I personally, if I'm going to refer one of my cherished clients to someone, I want to know a little bit about them before I even try to call them and see if they're the right agent for me. So,
When I look for agents to refer out, I want to make sure they look like either GRI, APR, I want to make sure they have designations, they've been around the block for a while. That's how I put it. I wouldn't buy it.
yeah, so I'll just flag it, so I'm not going to stick around that. But so make sure you have your photo and your bio filled out and just all that stuff filled out. And that's about it. Any other questions on it? So that's all.
Don't cut it, those videos that on the left, I would love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And other than that, we have lunch out there.
Woo-hoo.
Lunch on exit?
And Tony's got, hold that up for the screen.
Simple time.
That's the exit he listed. Oh, that's the free version.
Right. But what I've done, like I said, is I get the
You get the actual code.
actual code, and I just get a little green sticker that matches the thing, and just put it on.
Where do you put it, Tony?
Right on there.
Just I changed it.
Oh, you set the code to 85377. Okay.
So he'll change the exit to
Yeah,
whatever
you get a
specific
whole, you
is.
get a new number here and there, actually.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right there.
Oh, so you changed that whole thing?
Right, and I just change it per thing. I mean, like I said, the guy at Daisy Front charges me a couple bucks to print them out, and it's nice, right?
I mean, and the nice part about that too is
Good idea.
you can choose which ones you want to do that on.
Yeah.
If you've got a listing somewhere where you don't really care to like
Right.
to build a big buyer list, you get a listing and
But even
Pittsburgh
still, you know
tomorrow.
what, I mean, I've done it on all of mine, I've probably gotten 5, actual text, things, I mean, it's more for a selling thing to your seller.
Right.
To present to them, this is just another thing, and you let them do it while you're at the house, and she thought it was amazing, so.
Always test yourself too, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Test yourself, make sure it works. If it doesn't work, they have a tech team that can check it out at
Right.
corporate. If you call them and ask for tech support, they have tech support. Just check that out right away.
So she thought it was cool.
So where did you get those signs? They're on here to order?
Yeah, this is from Oakley Sign,
Oh, okay.
and I have this one on because somebody wants to take a picture, but I said I'd bring it to them, so wow, I got them all.